for me. I feel like the me before starting the book and the me after I'll finish it are gonna be completely two different people. Hi, hello, welcome. Let's get cozy and let's talk about books. And since I've mentioned it, cozy season is in fact upon us. The leaves are on the ground, the rain is falling, it's finally cold enough to wrap yourself in a blanket, light up a candle, and read. And one thing about fall is that it's the most fleeting season. Like 1 second the leaves are on the ground and the next it's fa la 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 season and I'm putting up my Christmas tree. And yes, I am one of those people who put up their Christmas trees in November. Sue me for loving Mariah Carey and fairy lights. However, I'm not quite done yet with fall reading. I still have 2 books for my fall TBR that I have not completed yet. And I thought, what a better way to mark what's left of fall than doing a fall reading vlog. So let's start today's video by going to the bookstore and getting the first book that we are gonna read together in this vlog. Get yourself a snack, get yourself a drink, and let's go to the bookstore. Let's roll the tape. Okay, I'm back from the bookstore. As you guys saw, the book that I picked up today was If It Makes You Happy by Julie Olivia. I am so excited for this book. Do you see this cover? It's stunning, babes. It's stunning. I'm very excited about this book because I've seen a lot of people giving it 4.5 stars. However, this beautiful cover and the fall vibes are making me think about another fall book that was popular and everybody was giving it 4 stars last year, if you guys remember. This book right here. And I hate this book. I hate it with a passion. Nothing happens. Absolutely nothing happens. 4 stars? No. 2 stars. 2 stars, and that's me being generous because what the fuck? Like, why? Why did I waste my time? Anyway, I really hope it's not going to be the same with this book. Just because it has a beautiful cover doesn't mean it has to be bad and nothing happens in it, right? Right? Fingers crossed I'm gonna love this, and also I hope that the 500 pages are gonna be worth it. But yeah, anyway, let's see what the hype is all about and let's start this book together. I'm almost halfway through. I just made myself a cup of tea. The vibes are vibing right now, and I thought it would be the perfect time to give you an update and actually tell you what this book is about now that I've found out myself. Michelle is from Seattle, but her parents are running this inn in a very small town in Vermont. When her mother passes, the inn is supposed to go to her sister, but her sister is still studying, so she has to take over the inn for about 3 months, the fall months, until her sister graduates, so she can be the one who takes over the inn. And Cliff is a resident of the small town. He has 2 daughters, he has a bakery there. He's the one who bakes in the bakery. I do love me a good chef. If you know, you know. And now the 2 of them are actually neighbors, and Michelle is very much that type of person who is not very open, is not very friendly. She's pretty closed off. And Cliff is in everyone's business. He's the funny guy. He's the jokester. He's like, he makes dad jokes. Like, he's a dad, you know, a very dad. It's pretty much them becoming friends, and it's very endearing. And today I finished also The Daughter of No World. I listened to that as an audio, and I was saying to myself, like, I missed reading a book where the main relationship starts as friends. Like, I actually believe that they like each other and that they know each other before they fall in love. And this is also that, like, they become friends before anything even happens to them, and now I'm halfway through and nothing even happened with them. Like, there's a little bit of tension, but nothing happened yet, and I really do like that. I'm enjoying this so far. I completely fully binged 200 pages in a couple of hours today, so it is an enjoyable read. I wouldn't say it's spectacular, give me 14 of them right now, but it's a good time. And that's my update for now. I'll continue reading. Let's talk final thoughts about this book. Now, I did enjoy this book. I am happy with it. I am not disappointed. This was actually a good read that I would recommend. Now, do I fully get the hype, the 5 stars, such cozy vibes, the best book ever? No. The one thing that I didn't love about this book was the main male character. He didn't do it for me. But I do think that's very much personal, and that's a personal preference. This book kind of reminded me of Caught Up. In this one, she was a pastry chef. In this one, he's a baker. In this one, he's the grumpy one. In this one, she's the grumpy one. She comes into his city for just one summer, and then she leaves, and then she comes into his little town for one fall, and then she leaves. So these were very similar, but no, it doesn't compare. This was no notes, amazing. I think about it once a month. This was, I'm probably gonna forget it in 2 weeks, but an enjoyable time. So we have one more book that I'm gonna get to in this video. And guys, I am so excited, but also so scared about this. I dream about this book. This book haunts me, and I haven't even started it. I am so scared of it, but I just know that I'm gonna love it. And the next book that we're gonna read in this vlog is Alchemized by Senlin Yu. Listen, when this book first came out, I was like, I'm not a dark romance, dark fantasy girly. I don't think this is gonna be for me. Let's maybe just skip. Then everybody I was following was reading this book, crying their eyes out, giving it 5 stars, 6 stars, God tier, best book of the year, like highest rated book. I'm like, maybe I'm missing out. Maybe I should give it a try. This to me screams fantasy girl fall. I think it's the perfect transition from fall to winter as well, because this feels kind of eerie, kind of November. Like, if I would describe November in a cover, it would be this. I'm very, very nervous about the content of this book because I know it's a heavy read, but I have checked the trigger warnings and I have seen a lot of people talking about it and kind of describing the topics that we're gonna follow. So I think I'm ready for it. I hope I'm ready for it. Also, we're matching. We're fully matching right now with my gold accessories and all. It is finally time. This is the second book that we're gonna read in this reading vlog together. Wish me luck. We're gonna get to reading. I have made some progress. I am now at part 2. I read 278 books and I don't want to tell you how long it took me to read that much. Like, I genuinely, it's embarrassing. I read the entire day yesterday and I only read 222 pages, and I proceeded to complete part 1 this morning. And by morning, I mean it's already 3 p.m. So it's dense and it's a little hard to get through. And it's not because it's impossible to understand, but because their writing is so descriptive and so meticulous that I've been immersive reading it also. And I can't listen to it on more than 1.7 speed because I feel like I can't really... Like, I see the words, but I don't internalize them. Yeah, I'm having a little bit of a hard time, but not in a bad way. It's not become daunting though. Like, I'm enjoying my time reading it. It's just slow progress. And I realized I have not told you anything about this book so far. So in case you didn't know, Alchemized is, how do I say it right? The author, Senlin Yu, originally wrote a Harry Potter fanfiction called Manacled. If you didn't know this was a Harry Potter fanfiction, you would never have guessed they have anything to do with each other, because they did such a great job of transforming this story and making the characters their own and making the universe its own. I will say it did help quite a bit knowing that it was slightly based on the Harry Potter world, because it was easier for me to understand a little bit about who the characters are and what they might potentially look like, and you know, a little bit of the background information until it became clearer through the explanations. You know, whenever you start a fantasy book, or at least that's the case for me, at least the first 100 pages I'm confused about what's happening, and knowing a little bit about what happened in Harry Potter helped going through this book. But this is kind of like if Harry Potter wouldn't have won the war against Voldemort. This would be like the alternative ending to the Harry Potter world. But again, it's very different from Harry Potter now in this version. In Alchemized, it's very different. I have not read Manacled. I don't know how similar or different this is, and I haven't watched any other reading vlogs of Manacled and Alchemized because I wanted to go into it blind. So I don't really know, but I know that's kind of like the basis of it. Now, what this book is actually about, it's going to be very hard for me to explain, because again, fantasy, that's hard to explain in general. We are just following, as I said, the end of a war where the dark side won. And in this universe, the dark side is the necromancers. And Helena was part of the resistance. She was Luke's right hand. And if you want to try to link it to Harry Potter, Helena would be Hermione and Luke would be Harry. So she was on his side. He died brutally by the hand of the High Necromancer, Voldemort's alter personality in the story, and now she was captured. She survived a form of torture that nobody could have been able to do that, and the people who captured her couldn't find any records of her. They didn't know how it was possible that she survived for that long. Someone did something to her brain in order to make it impossible for the alchemists to read her mind. A couple of years of her life were erased. She doesn't have any memory of them, and they are trying to get all of her memories back, and they send her to the High Reeve, which is like the High Necromancer's right hand, and that is Cain Farron, and in the Harry Potter world that would be Draco Malfoy. And his task is to get all of the memories from her brain, but that's a very tedious work because every time he tries to get into her brain, she gets seizures. So she is in his home as a prisoner for a very long time, and you get to see their interaction and them being enemies, but also him becoming kind of like the safe person for her in a world where nothing is safe and nothing is trustworthy anymore. And it's definitely dark, and it's not only dark fantasy, but it's also dark romance. I'm not gonna say too much about it. I don't know if what I said made any sense at all. Basically, part one finishes when she finally gets her memory back. From what I've gathered, part two is the past and what she couldn't remember, and then in part three we get back to the present time again. So part one was basically a lot of world building and understanding this new universe and the magic system and what happened in the world, and a little bit of the politics, and it's been quite dense to see all of this information. And also the author does such a great job at describing the space and the scenes. In every scene they describe, you can see exactly how the light falls, what she hears, how the temperature feels. Like, it's so vivid and it's so immersive that you're basically there. So yeah, it's kind of like eerie to be inside of here. And if you've seen the cover, the vibe of the book is very much this, like you're really in here, like the way that the sky feels like it's falling and you're kind of covered in the shades and everything about this cover is exactly what this book feels like inside, and the author does such a great job of immortalizing the feeling and the space and the eeriness and the gore of it all. It's really amazing writing. Like, let me try and find an example of some absolute elite writing. She went to the door. The winter light spilled like quicksilver across the dark floor, but the hallway beyond disappeared into darkness like the opening of a mouth. With the winter drapes, the light was blotted out, creating the dusty, suffocating feeling of a tomb. The lights were off. Wind rushed out of the dark, and the smell of dust and rot struck her face like a cold breath, followed by a low, shifting groan that made the house vibrate. Through the obscuring rain, the house around her looked almost like an immense, slumbering creature, curved inwards, the spires like spines. The rain did not cease. Instead, the sky dimmed as dusk fell. That's what I mean. Like, the setting is there and the descriptions are there. This is dark, so I get it why everybody who's reading this is stressing that you check your trigger warnings before you start, and I'm so happy that I checked the trigger warnings. I've seen a lot of videos of people talking spoiler free about this book, and I kind of got a sense of what was awaiting me and what I would get into this book. So up until this point, I have not cried. I was pretty like, you have to be collected and calm and everything's gonna be fine, and this is just fiction. My heart is breaking for her and for him because I truly think he's a tortured soul, and I think we're gonna find out more about it in part 2. But I am trying to stay calm and collected because I think that part 2 is going to shatter my brain. It's going to change my brain chemistry, and I am so excited for it. I feel like the me before starting the book and the me after I'll finish it are gonna be completely two different people. But yeah, this is where I'm at. These are my initial thoughts. Part 2 is the chunkiest bit. I think it has around 600 pages, so it's gonna take me a while. Let's get back into it. Another update. The second I turned to chapter 2, I knew that I needed to order more tabs because I didn't have enough of these colors, and yesterday a new set of tabs came in, so here it is. I had to wait one day. I did not read for 24 hours to wait for my tabs because I didn't want to read this without being able to tab it. Is that crazy? Maybe. Listen. Listen, we work with what we have, and this is what we have. Anyway, now this book has 1,000 pages, so I thought I need to give you more updates than usual. So here it is. This is my halfway update. This is such a slow burn. I wouldn't say it's primarily a romance, but I do feel like the love story is in there and it's slow burning, and whenever you get like a littlest glimpse of it, I'm like, oh, what the fuck? And when we got one kissing scene, I was losing my mind. I was like, that felt like the most intense thing that could ever happen to you, and they just kissed. They simply just kissed. And I lost my fucking mind. The anxiety is like building up, so I already, you know, yeah. I'm very excited to continue. I'll keep you updated. I've seen it recommended online that you reread the prologue before you go into part 3, and I see why that is. The idea of rereading the prologue comes from the fact that now that you know her past, the present is gonna make more sense. And as I was reading, like, towards the end of part 2, I was like, wait, I need to go back and see how this character evolved. And I went back to part 1, and now that I'm done with part 2, I kind of want to reread the whole part, the entirety of part 1, not just the prologue. But I'm just gonna reread the prologue. Let's reread the prologue together. It's 1 page. So perfectly tied together. Just a mastermind. I'm scared to go into part 3, but I guess I will. Oh my god. Okay, we're gonna do it together. Let's go into part 3. I have a little bit of a problem right now. So I'm at page 878. They've just had a conversation. If you know, you know. If you don't, well, read it. And I fear these two have entered a place in my heart that goes hand in hand with Boys of Tommen. I fear I love them as much as I love the couples in Boys of Tommen, and that's sacred territory. And I wasn't expecting that. I was expecting a really, really good book. I was not expecting Boys of Tommen level good. If this book doesn't have a happy ending, Every time you asked, I promised I was yours. Always. There aren't any exemptions or expiration dates on... No, that's all. Okay, I'm done. Look at this. Can you see that? That's crazy. I went into this book so deeply prepared. I checked the trigger warnings. I watched so many videos. I even got slight spoilers. And I never usually the type to do that, but I really wanted to make sure that I could handle it because I had heard it was a very, very dark book about very, very sensitive issues, and I knew that one of the trigger warnings for me, I can't handle it. Like, just the mention of it usually makes my skin crawl, instant bawling my eyes out, can't move on. So I was very, very, very prepared before I went into this book, and I think to some extent I was over prepared because for most of this book I did not shed one tear. And if you've ever seen my face before, you know that I cry for anything. Like, I cry for 90% of the books that I read. So it's kind of a miracle that I didn't shed one tear, because every time something... Sorry, I'm gonna have to take this off because it's slipping and it's annoying. Every single time that something terrible was happening, I was telling myself, no, you can't cry because something worse is gonna happen, and what are you gonna do then? So it was a mental game of, you can't break now because this is going to break you. So it's this or you. And I chose myself, and I did not cry up until the very last page. And the last sentence... Oh my god. And for most of this book, I liked it, but it wasn't like, I was like, maybe people are exaggerating, like, this is really, really good, but I don't know if it's gonna be more than 4.5 for me. It's beyond stars, it's beyond a rating, it's beyond anything that could be contained and measurable. Like, this has just become God tier, but in the way like Boys of Tommen is God tier. Like, that shit is my favorite series in the world. Those people are my people. Like, they can make no mistakes. Like, Helena is Aoife level of attachment. Like, you cannot touch her. Like, you can, like, over my dead body, anyone will say anything bad about this woman. Their relationship, oh my god. She wrapped her arms around his neck, wanting him near, under her skin, beneath her ribs, inside her heart, to hoard him so close, nothing separated them, and the terror of losing him would finally end. And this, to me, that sentence to me summed up their relationship and their dynamic and their love and their obsession and their friendship perfectly. Like, that's what you're going to get with this book. I guess I have to gather myself because this is the end of the vlog. We've read two very, 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 very different books, but that was the goal. Something cutesy, the leaves are falling, Gilmore Girl-esque vibes, cutesy, Halloween, whatever. And then I wanted something that felt like November. This book was perfect for a November read. Otherwise, I feel like it would be great as a January read, like one of the longest and heaviest months, because this was a heavy book to fit the vibe. I'm so happy I did this. I'm so happy I documented this. I think this is something that I'm gonna value for the rest of my life, a vlog that I'm gonna go back to over and over whenever I'm gonna itch to reread, but not gonna have a week to go through this. This is the end of the vlog. I hope you guys enjoyed. Let me know what other bookish content you would like to see. I hope the book that you're reading is the best book you've ever read. 5-star floppy, just an amazing read, and you're gonna love it as much as I love this book. And without further ado, I'll leave you to reading.